All right. Hello, everyone. We are live. Live. Today, what are we talking about?
Reason number two, why we are not in a real estate housing market crisis.
All right. So, if you didn't get a chance to see it yesterday, you can go back and check it out for the full details. But yesterday we went over reason number one why we are not in a housing crisis, and that reason was basically
The appreciation of homes
right.
leading up to this year.
Yeah. So just kind of in the past, 2000 to 2005, those 6 years leading up to the um,
The previous market crash.
crash, the bubble, prices were going up extremely high. As a matter of fact, the lowest year of a price increase was like 6%. It was actually like 6.5, 6.7, and year over year was going. And the prices were just falsely inflated, leading to a bubble and a collapse. So that was one of the things that the 6 years leading up to it. And again, just kind of going over this. We'll be starting in just how many minutes?
One.
1 minute. We'll give reason number two. But just
and we haven't seen that type of appreciation in the last 5 years.
Right.
We haven't even hit the 6.5%. So that's a good sign. And today we're going to discuss the second reason why we can say that this isn't trending as a housing market crisis.
Right.
But in case you don't know us,
I'm Sean.
I'm Christina.
And we work at Pretty Home Realty. Christina's actually a broker there. I'm an agent, manager there. And again, we help people accomplish their real estate goals. That's why we want to make sure that we're giving real value and showing you what's going on in today's market so that you'll be able to make a good informed decision.
Yeah. And since we're professionals in the business, we want to make sure that we're looking at the data and sharing that with you. It's not just a matter of opinion, so that you can make a decision either way. And with that in mind, if we're looking at how it is that you go about getting a loan for a home, you can see a major difference between the last housing market and currently, because now it's actually 6 times more difficult to get a loan than it was back in 2005. They have a lot more checks and balances. The banks have raised the credit score minimum. They've raised the job requirement, how long you've been on your job, and all the documentation you have to provide. So that's actually a good thing. Yeah. Sometimes people think, oh, they shouldn't make it harder. Well, we've learned from the mistakes of the past.
Right. It really is a good thing. And if believe it or not, back in the day, like the 05, 06, they were giving no doc loans. It's the opposite of what Christina was just mentioning of right now and of how they've tightened up their belts. The no doc loans, what that meant was the only thing you have to give is your name and your ID and maybe your credit score. If you had a good credit score, they would not require documentation to get a loan on a mortgage. So what that means is you could say you made as much as you wanted. So builders were building new construction homes. You had a person making maybe $40,000 buying a $400,000, $500,000 home. And so if you're selling all these bad loans because they knew the prices were going to keep appreciating, they could sell them and they thought that would just go on forever. Well, it can't, right? So
basically you end up with a bunch of people defaulting because they can't afford it. Or if anything happened where they weren't making the exact amount that they were making before, if their hours got cut, well, now people are in foreclosure and it unravels from there.
Right. So if we look at today, as far as the loans, what would you say is going on with with that, just a little bit more on that part.
Well, we can definitely see even in the last couple of months, they are requiring a much higher credit score.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be checking multiple times to make sure you're active full time on your job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just at the time of you getting the pre-approval. They're going to check again before closing to make sure you're making the same amount that you were, and just different things. Debt to income ratios, they've really become more strict on the requirements so that the people that are getting the loans are actually qualified to
Right.
buy.
So if you look at it, just to fully understand, after that collapse, there was a Dodd-Frank law, okay? And you can look that up. What those laws, now some of those laws have been unraveled, now, but what those laws did was they stated that basically you couldn't give out bad loans. That's the gist of it. You had to have a legit loan. Um, so people who bought after the crisis, they were actually genuine good loans. So that's good news for the housing market, because the people who own those homes now, those were good loans, right? For a long time. And now, like Christina was bringing out, they're still giving good loans. So if you look at that along with uh, reasonable appreciation, when you add these two things together, you can see that's not the situation, the setup for a housing crisis. But there are other things to consider. Stay tuned tomorrow. We'll give you our third reason why we believe that this isn't a housing crisis. And again, we don't want to be dogmatic about it. We're not perfect, but we're looking at the data. We are comparing where we were, where we are now, and that's what we're giving to you so you can make an informed decision.
Yeah. So if you have been thinking about buying or maybe selling a home and then buying another, you can private message us, and we'll try to answer any questions that you have and see if there's any way that we can assist you to accomplish your real estate goals.
Yeah, and that's we're located in Michigan, Birmingham, Michigan. But even yesterday, we were able to help someone in South Carolina who was trying to get a home, and they had some questions and needed to get some things put in place, and we were able to do that. We have a pretty nice network, so it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in Michigan, it's great. I mean, we can work a little closer with you, but I mean, due to COVID right now, we gotta stay socially distanced anyway. So
yeah.
Anyway, hey,
so tune in tomorrow at 1.
Yeah.
For reason number 3.
3. See you then. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard.